Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm joined with Ryan, who is one of my favourite Arsenal fans. Thanks so much, Ryan, for joining me today. How are you doing?
You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm all good. Glad we've won, of course. We're top of the league.
We are top of the league, yeah. Long may
um,
it continue.
it probably won't last for long, will it?
Until
but
tomorrow, I'd imagine. Who's playing tomorrow? Man United are on the TV. Who knows?
hopefully we'll stay up there for a while. But yeah, in today's video we'll be talking about the match because obviously we won 2-0. And yeah, before we do though, I wanted to talk about the lineup because there were quite a few changes and some of our signings were in.
Yeah.
Which signings have excited you the most when you saw that lineup?
Obviously, Jesus playing up front is he looks completely steps ahead of Lacazette last season. Already. He's only played 90 minutes, about 80 minutes actually. I mean, yeah, Jesus is going to be, he links the play up well. He does drop back a lot, I've noticed today, looking at him. And obviously Zinchenko, who is going to be good. But I think Arteta will use him in the midfield more than left back. I think Tierney wasn't fully fit today. He did come on, of course, but yeah, I think that those two signings are going to elevate us to the next level.
Do you think that they'll bring something different to this team? Because obviously last season that we didn't have an awful lot of squad depth, and that was something that probably cost us top four. So do you think they raise our level a bit?
I mean, they've come from Man City, haven't they? And they are champions numerous times. They've got winners' medals, Premier League's winners' medals. Of course, they're going to make us better. I think that's without a doubt. Yeah, and squad depth is going to be very, very important for us this season with 5 substitutes as well. So, yeah, definitely.
I know that obviously last season we didn't start off very well, and that probably wasn't great for us. Do you
I was
think
there.
were you actually? That was awful. But yeah, I think because obviously now we've started off in a very positive way. How important do you think that is for like Arteta, just for Arsenal? Because I think last season wasn't very good the way we started.
No, absolutely. I think, if we would have lost today, Arteta would have been under pressure straight away. Talking to other fans on Twitter and stuff, they all think that Arteta's not the man for the job. I think it's only Arsenal fans who completely fallen in love with Arteta. But yeah, I think he would have been under pressure if we would have any other result but a win. But Arsenal played well. We defended well. We've got a clean sheet, which we know from the documentary Aaron Ramsdale loves. And, we're top of the league. So,
Did you ever think for one point that they were going to score? Because I felt in the second half that they were getting into the game a bit more, and we kind of struggled to get hold of the ball.
Yeah, when Eze went through and Ramsdale made that save, I was glad Eze put it straight at him, really. But I think we looked okay at the back. Seeing as Ben White was playing right back, he's not a right back. I know he can play there and he has played there in the past, but he's not a right back. He's a centre back. And there was no Tierney. I think we missed Tomiyasu and Tierney. I think that's Arteta's got a problem because if Saliba keeps playing like that, I can't see Ben White getting in the side when
you can't drop Saliba. He's just. I'm actually quite blown away at how good he was today. Like, I know in pre-season that a lot of the players were good, but when it's the start of the Premier League, it's a different level of we'll see how good they are when the season comes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we have seen that definitely. I want to know what you've made of our overall performance, and what players really stood out to you.
Granit Xhaka actually stood out to me today a little bit because although he's not captain and he was given the armband after Odegaard went off, you can tell the players really respect him. And he kind of does run that midfield. Partey, again, was brilliant today. Maybe should have scored as well. But
yeah, he should have.
Yeah, he stood out to me. I thought Saka was quite quiet today, actually. For him, but Saka's such a good player. He can do something like that, and score a goal off of nothing. I think it was an own goal today. He can't claim that one. It was nowhere near on target.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think Saka was quite quiet, obviously. But then we scored at the end. But I think Martinelli, what did you make of him today? Because I know we had a chance early on, and I was like,
I
how did
cussed
you
him
miss
early on.
that?
Yeah,
I
I
was like, how did you miss that? But then I don't know if
absolutely.
it was an own goal in the 20th minute, but he scored. But I thought like that was okay because he did that. But
I
I did
don't.
think he had a quiet game.
He did have a quiet game, but to be fair, Crystal Palace have got those two wingers, and
Mm,
they're working really hard. So it was always going to be quite quiet for both of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think, obviously it's our first game of the season, there's new players in the team. Do you
Mm.
think it's like just them adjusting to each other, like taking a while for them to bond, or do you think they all work quite good together?
Well, I think with Jesus, he's come in and we've got a lot of Brazilian players anyway. So I think that's helped him get
Yeah.
running really quickly. I think Zinchenko, yeah, maybe, definitely. I'm just looking at the goals again now, but yeah, maybe. I think we will get stronger as the season goes on. We're always a little bit dodgy in December. Arsenal, we
Mm,
always have been. I've been a fan for many years, and we've always been a little bit dodgy in December. And I don't know why, but I think Arteta's building a great squad.
mm. Yeah, I think so. I think that there's a lot of positives to take. I mean, like, I think it was most important to get that win today because if we didn't, then, as you said, Arteta would have been under a lot of pressure because obviously how we started off last season.
Yeah.
Like, what did you like about today's game, and what do you think maybe in the next game you'd like us to improve on? Is there anything that you think?
I liked that we started really well and we were intense and we chased everything down. And I think in the second half, our legs went a little bit. Um, so I think maybe we could manage games a little bit better. But apart from that, a very good performance from Arsenal today. If you win, there's teams. Crystal Palace are a good side. They're not a pushover. There's teams in the top six that will go there and lose this season, without a doubt. Vieira's got them drilled very, very well. I love the Arsenal fans all shouting Vieira's name at the end. Absolutely
Oh, that
brilliant.
was lovely. I love that.
Yeah. We did wait till we were 2-0 up to do that, to be fair.
I love how we did that.
Yeah. But yeah, the top teams will go and lose here this season. Liverpool aren't very good
Yeah.
at Crystal Palace, to be fair.
Do you think like we struggled to kind of put the game to bed? I mean, up till like obviously Saka scored, but up to that, I felt like were making us work really hard in the second half. I felt like
Yeah.
we couldn't really do much. Like they did have a good like second half, but do you think like do you think that's a worry putting the game to bed? Because I know in the first half we did a lot with the ball, but we couldn't quite put it in the back of the net.
I don't think that's a worry. I think that this is the first game of the season, and I think players will just grow into the season. And this is the Premier League. Every team we play against are going to get chances. There's literally not going to be any easy games, as we know that because it's the best league in the world. Will we run away with games? I think we will. I think our next few games we will win. Yeah, yeah. Everyone's going to get chances against Arsenal just because of the way we play,
Mm.
but we just get stronger. I feel at the moment we're just going to get stronger, which is good.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously having the experience of like the Man City players, do you think that's kind of going to really help us? Because I know this team's quite a young team with not a lot of like they've not won a lot of things apart from like the FA Cup, but a lot of them are very young. So do you think having that kind of experience is only going to help us like strengthen and get stronger?
It can only help, can't it? When you've got Brazil's number 9 playing up front for you, and you've got Zinchenko, who's an international and a very, very good player. He's won titles with Man City. That's going to can only be a positive thing in the Arsenal dressing room. 100%.
I completely agree. I know, like, I wanted to talk about Tierney because I know you mentioned it before about like how much we kind of missed him and Tomiyasu. Do
Mm.
you think, how do you feel like Tierney's season's going to go? Because I know, obviously, I watched the documentary myself and it was very sad to see how it affected him. And we know what an important player is. Do you think like the season's a big season for him? Because I know we really, really miss him when he's not here. Like, I just don't think
We
we're the
do,
same
yeah.
when he's not playing. So do you think like it's going to be an important season for him? And do you think he could? Do you see him starting over Zinchenko, or do you think it's kind of whoever's better will play? Or
I think Tierney will be our left back. I don't
mm,
think Zinchenko will do. I don't think Zinchenko came here to be a left back, to be fair. I
mm,
think he can play left back and he's all right there. He's not the best defensively. But Tierney, in that documentary, it's very clear that Tierney's a winner. And when he wasn't in the side on the documentary, he says, I'm not used to not being in the side. I find it really hard. And that's a winning mentality. And that's the sort of mentality that the changing room is definitely going to need. With Tomiyasu as well, I mean, how strong was he last season? Amazing first season for Arsenal. That's only going to get better. But I think our back four or five, now we've got obviously Ramsdale in, is very strong. It's very strong. And like I said earlier, we might have £50 million sat on the bench soon with Ben White because Ben White wasn't that great today, if I'm honest. But he
yeah,
did.
I
He
thought
doesn't.
Saliba was the better kind of defender, wasn't he?
Yeah, and if Saliba plays like that every game, Ben White's got problems. He's not going to get in the sides very easily.
And I think that's a problem because obviously Saliba won't want to sit on the bench, and he doesn't deserve to sit on the bench. But then
No,
we've paid that money for Ben White, and he is a good defender. But I feel like Saliba's just levels. Like from what I saw today, like I'm not going to get carried away. I want to see how the season goes, but I feel like, do you think that's a bit? Is it a good problem to have not been able to?
absolutely.
I think it's like a better problem because I know in recent years we've not really had the choice.
I've
So
been Arsenal fan for a long time, and I remember Johan Juru at the back and Jules Grimandi and Pascal Sigan. So I mean, hey, it can only get better, right? I mean, if,
yeah,
we, if we've got these three centre backs and Holding's a pretty decent backup as well,
yeah, definitely.
he'll play a few games this season, definitely. Yeah, I'd prefer to have our back five than Manchester United's. Put it that way.
Oh. Oh, I love that. Yeah,
There
I
you
think
go.
I think though, like I think obviously Saliba, I think he's just too good, and he's actually stunned me today. I'm just like blown away by him.
It's
I
not so
wanted.
comfortable.
Oh, he does. I feel like he's been here for ages. Like
Yeah,
I know he's been away on loan. That's probably done him some good, but it's
definitely
just
did.
nice.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I think a lot of people were probably wanting him back sooner, but obviously going out, getting that experience has only helped him, and he's so young as well. So he's still got a lot of his future at Arsenal, and hopefully,
which also shows that Mikel Arteta knows what he's doing because it
mm,
was Mikel's idea to put him out on loan. And he spoke to him all through that loan. He was saying today, so
I think with that loan thing, I think a lot of fans didn't think Saliba would come back. Like, I think a lot of fans thought it was like wrong of Arteta, like to loan him out. But I see now that it was only probably a good thing. I mean, I was fine with him going out on loan because I wanted him to become a better player. Because when you come to Arsenal, like it's a different standard, if you know what I mean. Like you've got to
absolutely,
put a good impression, and you've got to
absolutely,
do your best. So I think it's good that he's obviously gone out and got that experience, but it will definitely be a hard decision to make. And like if Tomiyasu's back, for me, he has to start because I just think he's excellent. Like I think he is probably one of our best players when he's like at his best. So it's a
yeah,
hard decision, but it's a
100%.
good one. Um, I wanted to talk about Eddie Nketiah because obviously he didn't have an awful lot of time to stay off the bench, but we were more excited about seeing Jesus though. With Eddie, how do you feel about him this season? Because at the end of last season, he was quite impressive to watch. He seemed very like hungry, like to get in good positions and score lots of goals. So, how do you feel about him this season?
Look, we've only got two strikers. So he's going to play games. He's going to play most of the cup games, I'd imagine, and he's going to come off the bench every Premier League game because Jesus isn't going to finish every Premier League game. You can't play 90 minutes the way he plays. Did you see at some point today, I've seen Gabriel Jesus on the corner of our box defending and then all the way up the other end trying to strike them? Like, you can't play like that all game. Mm-hmm. So Eddie's going to be needed, and I think this season's going to show what character Eddie has, and whether he's got the shoulders to burden playing for Arsenal. I think he has.
I think there's probably a lot of like pressure on him as well, because I think he has got to perform. He's got to get the goals, and I'm actually quite confident that he will. I think from what we've seen as well in pre-season with him and Jesus, they've done really well together, and I just feel quite like I just believe in him, and I think as fans we have to believe in the players and get behind them. But
he's a hell-end boy.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That makes it a lot better. I think there is a lot of positivity around him. Like, I think from what we've seen last season, there's something to believe about him. There's something we can see something that's special about him, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100%.
I did want to talk about Mikel Arteta because we love him, don't we? Like, we absolutely love him. And obviously,
I know you do too.
I actually can't tell you how much I like him, and I wanted to talk about him because I feel like he's had such a big. I just think he's changed Arsenal in the last. I think it's taken time, and it has been hard to see a few things like our slip in the league and just things like that. But I do want to talk about like the atmosphere, like the games, because I noticed today that I could hear the Arsenal fans so loud, and I know in recent years like we have been a bit more quieter, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on like what he's doing here, what Arteta's like doing, and just like the atmosphere and like the connection with like the fans and the players. It's like just so amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was hard. He's gone through a hard transition. The squad Mikel Arteta inherited wasn't a great squad, let's be honest. We went out and bought Pepe for 72 million odd. He doesn't get a game now because Mikel Arteta has a certain standard. He has as he calls them, the non-negotiables. And I love that. I just love the fact that he's got that standard, and you have to live up to that standard or you're out the door. And I think that's what Arsenal need, because when Arsene Wenger, you probably won't remember because you're a lot younger than me, but when Arsene Wenger first joined Arsenal, he did the same thing. He brought in players like Sol Campbell and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think with Arteta, like I think it's been like a long process in a way, but I think obviously with Unai Emery leaving, he just had to have these players, and it's had to take him time for him to get the players out of the door and bring in new players with the sort of energy that matches Arteta, because it's not going to happen like that overnight, and we know that. But I think there's just something to believe in. I feel like as a fan, like I feel excited, and I feel like with Arteta, like I don't know about you, but I just feel like he understands the values of this club, and I think he's just such a leader. And I know from the documentary, I know you've seen it, like I just feel like he just knows what he's doing. I do think though, do you think it could be a worry this season, like his lack of experience? Because I think people use that against him because when he's struggling. Yeah, I do think that, because like when he's not doing so good, people will say if a more experienced manager was here, that wouldn't be happening. So how do you feel about it?
He's an easy target because he's a new manager. He hasn't. I mean, he's played under Arsene Wenger. He's managed under Pep. You're not going to be bad, are you? Come on, that's two of the greatest managers in the world.
Exactly.
Every player who is around him says how good he is. What do we know as fans? So I hear some fans saying, "Oh, we should have went for Conte." No, we shouldn't have, actually, because you don't want to spend 400 million on 34-year-olds. But I think he's got the club. He wants young players. I mean, he's buying players 25 at the oldest. They're like our older players now. Xhaka's like our oldest player in the side, I think, isn't he? Can't think of
I
anyone.
feel like he's been here for ages. I feel like he's been here forever.
He's bringing in a standard, and that's what we have at Arsenal, and that's what we are. We've always been about a high standard, class club who love the fans, and the fans give back as much. We've got a few, unfortunately, groups of fans that are controversial, let's say, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think fans are probably just trying to figure out the season. I think a lot of fans might struggle with what they think because we obviously missed out on top four last season, but I think there are positives, and I think we're still able to attract those good players. Like Man City, I felt like when Jesus and Zinchenko came, I was quite amazed because we can still attract these players. Like Spurs are in the Champions League, other teams like that are in the Champions League.
And nobody
We're
wants to
not
join.
exactly. No one wants to join them, but because we're in the Europa League and we're Arsenal, people.
We were one game away from Champions League football with a very poor start. I know, same here. I cried for like 2 days, but with a very poor start, everyone wrote us off. Everyone's going this time last year. Oh, you're going to get relegated. All this sort of stuff. I was worried. I was like, oh no, they were going to finish like 15th or something.
I thought that's what.
But,
I was trying to stay positive, but I was like, we better not be finishing down there.
And then we went on that nice run, which you see in the documentary, which is great. And then obviously, I think Arteta showed at Liverpool last year his lack of experience when he riled up the crowd at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because I was there at the game, and we were actually doing very well in the game until then, and then Liverpool just ran away with it after that because Arteta and Klopp had that to do.
Yeah, got the crowd going, didn't it? A lot.
And yeah, that's the last crowd you want to get going.
It's
so loud in that crowd.
Do you know when I saw that? Like when I was watching the game, I kind of thought, you know what, good for you, Arteta. Because I felt like he was on our side and he was backing us, which I loved, and I still think that is how it is. But he did get the crowd going, and at Anfield, that is the worst thing you could possibly do.
You get away with that at Brentford, but you're not going to get away with that at Anfield, I'll tell you that. But that was him showing his lack of experience. He won't do that again.
I think he learned his lesson then.
He absolutely learned his lesson. And sometimes you have to learn lessons like that. And look, we had such a young squad. We had the youngest squad in the Premier League last season, and we finished 5th.
I think when you see it like that, I think because the squad was so young, but we obviously, I think when we had the good players like Aubameyang and other players, I think we kind of thought as the season went on that we would get top 4. But I think when you think about it realistically, with the players we had, that was probably the furthest we could possibly get to, unfortunately. But I think we're in Europe, so at least we're still in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in Europe. We're in the Europa. We'll probably win that and get in the Champions League anyway, even though we're finished at least 4th this season. I really do think Arsenal will finish at least 4th this season. I think I think we have shocked people.
Yeah, because I thought like this. I wonder what in the top. I do believe we'll finish in the top 4, but I just don't know where. I don't want to be overly positive and say we'll come 3rd because I don't believe that right now. But I think we could get top 4.
Who's your top 3?
I don't. I don't know who's going to come 1st or 2nd, but that's like Man City, Liverpool. They're above everyone else. But then I don't know.
If you say Spurs, I'm leaving.
I'm not. Wait, hold on.
No problem.
Everyone have said. Do you know what? Hasn't everyone said? I've heard so many people say Spurs 3rd, and I'm just like.
Look, Conte's a good manager. He's a good manager, and he's a serial winner. But so was Jose Mourinho, and
he didn't win anything at Spurs.
So who knows what happened. And also, don't forget, last season, Antonio Conte almost quit Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, do you know what? I actually thought he was going to quit. So, I thought he was going to. I wish
maybe
he
would be the first manager who goes this season.
But I think because I know we've got Europa League and we'll have more. We'll be playing more, but I know they're in the Champions League, so they'll be playing more as well.
Yeah,
So it's kind of hard to like predict at this.
this
I
means we'll
think
play
because
on a
I've seen
Sunday.
us today.
We'll be playing on
Yeah,
a Sunday.
but yeah, I'm still. What do you think of like what you want Arsenal to kind of achieve? Like, what do you think Arteta should get out of the team this season? Because I know that he finished eighth and became fifth, and we've obviously won the FA Cup. So there's still good things to take from it. But this season, what do you think you expect from the team?
Top four.
Do you want us to win anything? Do you think? I know we all want us to win everything, but do
I'd
you
want us to
think?
win every competition we're in.
Me too. I want us to win the league, but it won't happen. Do you Do you think we're able to get top four and win the Europa League, or do you think that's a big ask?
No, I think we're a good enough side to win the Europa League, especially looking at the sides who have won the Europa League. Yeah, we're definitely better.
Imagine if we got United in the final.
Yeah, well, we're definitely better than most of those. We haven't got a very good relationship with the Europa League, though. We tend to get to the final
I
and
hate the
bloody
Europa
lose.
League. It breaks
We
my heart.
lose. Yeah, I know. That's my head in. I can remember Galatasaray beating us in a final years ago. That was heartbreaking. And Chelsea and Europa League is not the place to be.
Arsenal have just broke our heart. Do you know
It's
what
not
it
the
is?
place to be.
Do you know when I found out we're in Europa League, I just felt so like, ugh, because I feel tired of being let down in Europa League. Like, I just want us to win it and get out of that competition. Like, that is how I feel about it.
Yeah, same. Uh, we won't always be in the Europa League, though. I think we are about two, maybe three signings away from being a very, very good side.
Mm.
I think we're a very good side at the moment, but I think we're not Liverpool, Man City standard yet. Two more signings.
Yeah. Do you think we will sign anyone else? Because I feel like with Arteta, I do feel like he wants more signings, but
Yeah, I
will we
think
do that? I don't know.
Telemans will probably come
Mm.
from Leicester. I mean, they don't want to sell anyone but him, which is good because he only wants to join us. So, but I think we're waiting for Torreira to go, which sounds like that's going today. I know he's over there now. That's been a long one, hasn't it? Trying to get rid of him. Blimey.
I feel like it's been going on forever.
I saw him score against Tottenham though, so that was he's a legend.
We love him for that, but
Yeah,
I don't
absolute
think
legend.
it's like worked out really. But I feel like that's been going on for ages. But I definitely would like us to sign some more players. But I do feel I'm very happy with what I'm seeing, and
Absolutely,
I feel like when some of our players are back from injury, I mean, I know we've got a lot of players in squad depth, so I'm happy with the signings today and like what I saw today with the new players. But I
absolutely.
think like Tomiyasu, he is my guy. I love him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about Odegaard because I know he's our captain now, and I
Mhm.
wanted just to get your thoughts on what you think of him as the captain, and do you think he's a good leader?
Captain's Norway as well, so he's
Yeah,
obviously
he's got that experience, yeah.
yeah. There's obviously something there. Um, yeah, I really like Odegaard. Obviously, he's such a good player. He could have scored. He tried passing it today, and he should have scored. Should have actually. He tried going left again. I don't know why he did that. And he should have actually just belted it in the back of the net, and we would have won 3-0. And I'd have been. We
How
would have
dare
won
you,
the league.
Martin Odegaard?
Um, but yeah, no, he's an amazing player, and I think he's a level head as well. I think Arteta sees that in him. He's obviously a leader in the changing room. Um, yeah, so I'm hoping we see more of him on this documentary because we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I really like what I've seen of Odegaard. Like, I just think he's the perfect captain. Like, out of all the players I see now, I think for me, he's the best player, best one to choose because I think like I see him as someone who's quite mature, level-headed, and he's someone who just works hard for the team. And I feel like when Aubameyang was the captain, he was always the one that would come out and talk when we've lost, when we won, and I feel like it just feels right that he's the captain, and obviously
Yeah, I
having
agree.
that experience. Yeah, it just feels like the right thing to do, and I'm glad that Arteta and that chose him, because I don't know who else they would have chose, but I
Who
don't
would
know.
you have? Would you have chosen him, Odegaard?
Well, do you know, with the Aubameyang thing, I would
Yes.
have picked
Sure,
Tierney. Oh god, I don't want to. I would. That's
you.
so the Aubameyang thing. Um, I would have chosen. This was a little while ago, but I would have chosen Tierney. But
Yeah.
because he got injured so much, I thought it's not great if a player's not in the team much. So
Yeah. I
for
mean, he's been
me,
very unlucky with injuries, Tierney.
I
I
know
think
what.
third,
Yeah.
third season lucky. He's not going to get any. So, God, I hope not.
Mm.
He's
But
such a
what
good player.
about? Oh, do you know what it is? I feel really sorry for him because he's got everything that makes him a good player. Like, I think
Mhm.
we love the passion he has, and he's just such an all-round good player and a winner. And
Yeah.
of all players, it's just so fortunate that he's had to suffer with like these injuries. But I do think he would make a good captain. But I just think if he's not in the team a lot, then that would. I don't think it's going to be difficult for him to be that captain if he's not
Arteta
there all the
couldn't
time.
have picked him as captain. He's had 2 seasons with Arsenal. He's been injured for half of that time.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think you could pick him. Otherwise, he definitely would have been up there. If he would have been fit that whole time, he would have been up there for captain without a doubt. But you're right. You can't have a captain who sits on the sidelines for 6 months of the season.
It is sad because I think he would be such a good captain, but I mean, we don't know about the future. But I think Odegaard, I think he's a sensible option. But I know that Gabriel, I used to, I
Which
don't, I
one?
think.
We've got three.
Oh my god, I know. Defender. Which, you know what? It's so confusing. Like, I don't know which
It is.
Gabriel what to say. No, the defender Gabriel.
Yeah.
I think he is probably in like my top three of who I think should be the captain.
Yeah.
I think like he seems like he's very like I just think he'd do a good job at it. But for you, who would you have wanted if you've got a few options of the captain? Who do you think you'd
I'm
pick?
going to be quite controversial actually and say
Oh,
Granit Xhaka
oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
because he's a good captain. He's a good captain. He's a good leader. He is.
Do
But
you know, I knew you were gonna say that before you said
you
it.
did, didn't you? I am a
I could
Xhaka
read your
fan.
mind.
I think he gets so much stick, Xhaka. He's so important for the club and the team, and a lot of fans, and don't see it. And I just don't know why they don't see it. But that's fine. He also makes
Yeah, go on.
silly mistakes, and I understand why a lot of fans rage at him. But look at today. He got booked today. He got booked by his reputation today because another player wouldn't have got booked for that.
I felt the same about that, to be
I was like,
honest.
oh, you only booked him because it's Xhaka. But
He does get booked for being Xhaka. That's just how it goes now. I just
he
accept it.
does,
I'm
yeah.
just used
Oh,
to it.
I'm going to book him. Yeah. Oh, great.
I think Xhaka accepts it now. I think he just knows like how it works with the referees. He's just over it. I think with Xhaka, a lot of people, I know a lot of people have said this, and I kind of think it. I feel like he's our captain without being the captain. Like he doesn't need the captain's armband to be the captain. Like
Well,
I do,
Arteta talks about the captain group. He said about that in the press conference yesterday when they asked,
mm.
is there still the captain group? And yeah, he's definitely in that group.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, I do think he's like a lead. I think I see him someone who's quite vocal in the dressing room, and I do think a lot of people probably look up to him, like the younger players, having that someone like that. Like, I know he's had a lot of red cards, but I think he's. I do.
So did Patrick Vieira.
Oh, we can't use that. No, I
I
think.
mean, he's not as good as Patrick Vieira, of course.
Oh, but yeah, it's different gravy. But I
Yes.
think I feel like with Xhaka, I feel like he has improved a lot. Like under Arteta and last season in the preseason and I guess today, like I just feel like I feel like he's grown on me so much. Like since everything that happened, I've just really grown to like him. And I
Yeah.
don't think he gets the appreciation he deserves. I don't think some Arsenal fans are so different with how they feel about him. Some love him, some
Hates him.
hate him. Is
Absolutely
it?
hates
How
him.
can you hate? I just could never hate a player personally. I
He's
just
got so much stick over the years from Arsenal fans. It's unreal. I'm surprised he's still here. To be
I know.
perfectly
I
honest.
remember in the documentary he said if it wasn't for Arteta that he wouldn't be here, and
Yeah,
it's just crazy that Arteta's had that much of an impact on like Xhaka staying here. But I guess if a manager believes in you, then you kind of have that. You can do it and stay here. And I do think the relationship's much better now, like with the Arsenal fans,
much better. Yeah, much better. You can
and it's
see
kind of glad. I'm glad about that.
the Arsenal fans today were amazing. I didn't hear Crystal Palace all night.
I didn't either. It was all Arsenal. Like I think that's the best thing is that the connection between the fans and the players. It's just like I don't remember a time where it was ever like that. Like I
I
just
do. Old school Highbury.
I'm jealous. I never got to go to Highbury. I'm too
I do.
young.
I do. I remember. Did you ever go to Highbury?
No, I wasn't even wait. I wasn't even born.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna
What's
make
up
you
with that?
sound old, aren't I?
Yeah, thanks.
No, but I don't know. I would have loved to have gone though because I feel like it just seemed like such a beautiful place. Everyone speaks so highly of it, but
Mm. It was special.
no,
Definitely. I
I
mean,
really wish I could have gone.
38,500, I think, fans could fit in there. My friend's got the flat there now, so he lives there. So I go to his flat every now and then just to look around. Um, it was a special place, yeah. And if you hear Burkamp and Henri speaking about it, they both say it was a special place.
I feel like though, like with that and the connection the players, the manager, everyone had, they all loved each other, and I feel like that's started to come back because the
Yeah.
atmosphere has changed so much in the last season or like recently, and I feel like there's just this connection and love for everyone, and I can't maybe not the owners. That'll be a
No,
slow. That'll slowly. I don't know.
I think the owners get a lot of stick. I think they've done all right. We
I'll
spent
be
loads of
honest. I've
money.
never been their biggest fan, but
No, I know you're not the biggest fan, but they haven't really done much wrong, to be honest.
mm,
A few years back when we were paying the stadium off, maybe, yeah, they were tighter than tight. But in the last two seasons, especially, we spent the most last season, and we look like we're going to spend the most this season. I mean, Kroenke's like the Kroenke group is they've got so much money, it's ridiculous. I think they're the biggest privately owned sports group in the world.
do you like? I want to know what you think of them. Like, I think for me, with the Super League stuff, I
Well,
really,
that was disappointing, wasn't
I did feel very much like I wanted them to go, and not just for that, just for what I've seen in the recent years. I felt very like I just disliked them, and I'm not
it?
saying that I really like them, but I feel like recently I've seen money being brought in. I feel like the signings are like top notch signings and signings that a club like Arsenal should go for. Like for me, Arsenal is such a big club and we should be going. The players from
Absolutely.
like Man City, Liverpool, Liverpool's a bit hard, but I feel like this is what we should be doing. So I feel like things are slow. I kind of think they're getting better, but what
Yeah, I do.
what do you think about like everyone like Edu, the Kroenkes? What do you feel about them?
I think Edu's actually doing a very good job. I was very skeptical of Edu. Loved him as a player, invincible, amazing. But I was skeptical of Edu. I think can he do that job? Can he do that role? Well, yes, he can. He signed half the Brazil side, so so
Love
that's
that.
um, he's obviously got great contacts in Brazil. They're always going to be good footballers. I think Josh Kronk comes over very well in the documentary as well.
Does. I think he's
Um,
more involved than I thought he was actually.
yeah, and I think they get more stick than they should, to be honest, because last season Kronk out signs and all that probably not fair because Arteta wanted the players he wanted. They gave him the money. They went and signed him. We were all skeptical. We went, Tomiyasu, who? Who's Tomiyasu? Because I did that. I went, who the bloody hell's he?
I
And
think
then
we
when you
all
signed
were
Aaron
kind of poor.
Ramsdale,
Yeah,
Aaron Ramsdale had been relegated from every club he's played for. I went, what are we doing? He's never going to get in the side. And now, that's why we're not managers. That's why we're fans. I didn't know.
I think we're all like
Arteta
that,
knows
weren't we?
best.
Though. I think that's probably stopped us now from judging players when they come. We just keep our mouth
Absolutely,
shut.
yeah. Yeah, I know, 'cause
I was like that. I felt like when with that Tomiyasu thing, I remember Spurs. I can't remember what player it was. Like I can't assume my mind's just gone blank. But I know with Tomiyasu, I think he was gonna go to Spurs, or that was like something thinking. And I just felt like because I don't know a lot about these players, I kind of worry what if they have it in them to like play for Arsenal, like do well, because there's a lot of pressure on them. So
yeah.
with a lot of them signings, I was
I'm
a bit
always
more
worried
worried.
if we get a player that Spurs are after. I'm always worried because with their record of signing players, you know, they sold Gareth Bale years ago for 80 odd million and bought 11 players who were absolute crap. So, you know, who knows? And Daniel Levy's been there for ages. I love Daniel Levy. He always makes the wrong decisions for Tottenham Hotspur. It's great. But, you know,
That's why we love him.
yeah, that's why I love him.
Yeah, I think I agree though. Like, I don't. I just hope we better finish. I want to finish above them. Like, I
We
couldn't.
will. We will.
No, but what was if they finish third and we finish fourth? Chelsea better kind of swoop in and take
Don't
that
say
place.
that. Don't say that, Sophie. It's the first game of the season. Don't say that. We've got 3 more points than them at the moment. So,
I love how I'm thinking so far ahead, and it's just the first game
yeah,
of the season. I get carried away, so I'm gonna like
that's okay.
enjoy
That's
enjoy
okay.
this win and hope hopefully, like, I think we've got a bit of an easier start this season. Like, we had Man City and
Oh,
Chelsea.
don't say that.
No,
You're
I'm gonna
losing
jinx
3
it.
games now.
I'm gonna jinx it, aren't I?
Yeah, don't say that. God, I hate commenting on
We'll
Arsenal games.
lose our last 2 games. We'll lose our last next game. No, but I feel very, like, happy about things, and all that mattered today to me was getting that win. And do you know what? It's absolutely been a pleasure talking to you about, Arsenal, because you know what? I've interacted with you like quite
Yeah,
a few times, but we've never actually met before, so it was nice to
no, I
finally
haven't.
meet
No,
you.
and you? Yeah, definitely. Your
Yeah.
new friend. You've got your new friend, Laura Wood, as well. That's nice, isn't it? That's like, you're like a superstar now.
I wouldn't say that, but
Wow,
so many people have kept saying that to me. I'm just like,
that's good.
I
I mean,
do
she's
like.
the only one on Talk Sport who talks sense. So, so
I mean, I do love watching her and talk sport.
I turn it off when Jamie O'Hara's on. Just turn it off. Yeah, I'm not listening to him.
It's really hard for me to keep quiet when Jamie O'Hara says something I don't like. I'm like on my
Absolutely.
Twitter, like trying to stop myself from tweeting, and I can't stop.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was lovely actually meeting her. She's so lovely. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm a superstar, but I'm just me. So,
You're a superstar. I think
uh,
you're a superstar.
that is so so sweet. But do you want to let people know? And so if you've got, I know you've got Twitter. If they want to find you, I can also put your Twitter and your
Well, it's
link.
my name there. Brian Sutch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm that on every social media, I think. So
yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this. We'll definitely have to do it again. Hopefully, when the season's gone on, we'll have
I'll be
kept on
depressed
winning games. And then we'll be depressed. Won't we?
by Christmas. I'll be like, oh no, I'm not doing it
Oh,
again.
I hope
No,
not.
it's been fantastic.
I hope we'll be in good spirits. But thank you so much for coming on the
Sure.
channel. We'll definitely do it
No problem,
again. So
no
thank
problem at all.
you.
See you later.
See you. Bye.